Let me before the things were happening last night, so bear with my voice today. Welcome to Track Girl Summer. I am your host, Natasha Hastings, and this is my co-host, Kori Carter, and we are bringing the culture to track and field.
Track Girl Summer. Track Girl Summer.
Follow me, follow Kori, IG, Twitter, Facebook. Is there anything else?
I don't know.
Natasha Hastings, the Kori Monster. Follow Track Girl Summer, IG, Twitter, YouTube. How many followers are we up to on IG now?
I think like 1,200. Also, see, we had to get into our Twitter. What happened with our Twitter yesterday?
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Also, follow World's Greatest. Our producers are on Instagram, Twitter,
and
YouTube. Follow them. If you don't know by now, this is like day 8, right? Yeah, day 8. We got 5 more days. We've been streaming live every morning from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're breaking down the Olympics. We're bringing the tea. We're bringing the shenanigans. We're bringing the legends. This is the place you want to be. On today's show, I'm a mess. Yeah. We have a lot going on. It was crazy on the track last night.
Yeah, we're going to talk about
this morning. We also have some amazing guests that will be joining us. One is going to join us on the couch.
Ooh, we got in person. We're like stepping it up every show.
It just gets better and better. But yeah, last night we had world records. Mondo track is fast as heck. just the things. We'll be joined by Morolake Akinosun and Bianca Knight. And, they will be joining us for our Hustle Clean Podium predictions. We're going to be predicting the women's 400 final.
Mm-hmm.
If you thought the men's 400 hurdle final was exciting, the ladies, as well as the men's 200 final. Mm-hmm. So, lastly, last bit of housekeeping, any tweets or videos that go up on the side of the screen, you got to click it to see it play. And that's it.
Let's get into a fit check.
Okay.
Today I'm going, the classic, like big top, little bottom, got a little vest on. Elevate, shout out to Clay. He is triple jumping in Tokyo, so we had to rock the Elevate for Mom, is your volume on? My mom was like, hello, is your volume on? And then, some Delta 2s on the shoes.
And then I'm, in my auntie attire, a little white tee, a little fitted unitard. And then I am also wearing some wide legs by Noel, a Black designer out of New York. She's available in Bloomingdale and her own boutique.
Here's your glass.
Oh, thank you.
So you can get an Ollie Pop poppin'.
Ollie Pop poppin'.
Also, I have to apologize, guys, for yesterday. I completely forgot to remind you to send a Black woman some money today. I'm going to get on Venmo right now and send my mom some money because she deserves it.
Okay.
Because I apologize. And I got to lead by example. Don't forget, send a Black woman some money today.
No, my mom
doesn't have to be us, but
where mine at? Cheers, Ollie Pop Pop.
What's the flavor? What's the?
It tastes like cola.
Mm-hmm. It's vintage cola. Mm-hmm. Let's get into this predictions review. Let's start with this crazy women's 200. Me and Edwin Moses beat y'all.
Did you?
Yeah.
How did the points work again?
We got 3. We got 3 points. You got 3 points for Elaine Thompson. Mm-hmm. We both thought that she was going to win. Mm-hmm. We had Shawnee, so we got 0 points for silver. Mm-hmm. You had Shelly for silver. But we were the ones who knew that Gab was going to make it to this podium. Y'all picked.
Don't get no points for Boma?
No. But in a situation where it was reversed, I would get points for Mboba.
But I mean, I feel like I was right about 2 things.
So were we.
So then it's a tie.
No, because we had the right place.
I knew Mboma was going to make the podium.
Yeah. but you didn't know where she was going to
I
get
didn't know
there.
where she was going to get
You rated
there.
her a little lower.
And I
You should have believed in her.
also figured that Shawnee probably wasn't going to make the podium either.
You thought Shelly was though, so what are we talking about?
All right, fine. I tried to make my case.
But Elaine Thompson,
clearly
she ran
I'm not a lawyer.
21:53 for the Jamaican national record. First woman in history to complete the double-double. So she won the 100 and 200 in Rio, and then came back and defended both of her titles. So she was not to be denied. Not to be denied at all. Mboma ran 21:81 for under.
Can we talk about Mboma's last 16
What was
meters?
that? What was that? Because I thought coming up the curve, I was like, oh, she's out. Like, there's no chance. And she dug herself out of the biggest hole. I have no idea how she.
I've never seen that before.
And she ran down Gabby Thomas. Like the girl she was running.
And the mommy rocket.
The girl she was running down weren't nobody. Like.
Yeah. Insane last 75 meters. For her to be 19 years old, I'm afraid of what the future of track and field is.
She got the world under 20 record, by the way.
It's crazy.
And then shout out to Gabby Thomas.
Yes. Shout out to Gabby Thomas.
Bailey Bunch got.
I love in instances like this. I would be wrong. Where I was a little nervous about Gabby. And I don't know if I said this on the show or if this was after the fact where I was like, Gabby looked a little bit flat to me. And I was like, how does someone look flat running 22:01?
It's because the way you had to run those rounds was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. But I'm so proud to see her come through and make that podium. Congratulations.
Yeah, that was a ridiculous. What is going on in those sprints?
Going on?
Okay. And then
the reason why I sound like this morning. The reason why I sound like this morning.
Hi, Marielle. This 400 hurdles. What in the actual
mind blown
Beyonce's Twitter is going on? Because,
mind blown. 45 over some hurdles. Wait, before we get into that, I just want to, because we check all the things, right? And we checked the YouTube comments, and there was a comment that was like, I didn't want to say anything, but you guys let your American bias get in the way.
And?
First of all, we are not journalists, so we aim to bring the facts, but...
I'm going to root for my faves. I ride out. The one thing about me, I'm going to be loyal. Team USA all day.
Period.
But I also give respect where respect is due. So shout out to Carson Warholm for this 45.94. What in the actual
hell
is going on?
Yeah. But I knew both of them would go under the world record. I knew we were going to see something magical.
I just didn't think it was going to be under 46.
It to be right. I didn't think it would get cute.
Like that.
That part. And I also wanted Rye to come out with the gold. But
and how do you run 46:17, second time fastest time of all time, American record, and you don't get gold?
47:08
doesn't even get a medal. Just off
47:08. McMaster ran 47:08, and he's going home with nothing.
Nothing. I mean, gosh, that's probably the greatest 400 hurdles race we've ever seen. I think the only race that I could compare it to is we were talking to Edwin Moses when he got third place it was 84, I want to say. That race with Kevin Young and him. But I don't even have words for what it was so funny because track Twitter was
on
going
fire last night.
Yesterday. I saw it was Eric Kennard said that's video game time.
That's video game time.
I saw someone saying I love how Benjamin and Warholm push each other to the limit, because
Benjamin came off of going into 10.
I thought he had.
I was like, ooh, and Warholm came off of 10 and just had something that Rye didn't have. But Rye also stuttered quite a bit in the race.
He did,
too.
and so I really feel like he can run faster. I think also I thought he had his ticket after the semis because the one thing I was worried about Rye is he really hasn't challenged all year.
Yeah.
And so sometimes your rhythm gets thrown off if you're going against someone pushing it. And let's be clear, Warholm pushed it from the jump. He took it out, and he we said that you were going to have to commit suicide to win this race, and
Okay,
he said
I was waiting for somebody to say that.
he said he was ready to die, like, and
I
he
live for
didn't.
this.
But that was the only way to win that race. Like he said, forget strategy, forget trying to.
No, there was strategy.
What I'm saying, forget trying to manage my energy.
Get the F out.
But I'm saying he wasn't trying to manage my energy and I'm picking up here. He just said, "Let's go." He just went and he kept going and he never stopped. Like there was no time where he was like, "Now it's time to turn it up. This time, now it's time to relax." And usually when you run 400, you get out, you relax on the back straight, and then you work your way. No, it was just all gas.
Yeah. To the bias comment, if you can't tell, we're just a fan of track and field because
I am biased.
As much as I wanted Rye on top of the podium, what I cannot deny is that I witnessed greatness and history last night.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that track is on fire. So congrats to Warholm, congrats to Rye, congrats to another national record, Dos Santos. Which
it was so cute. He was like talking to his family. He was like, "That was cool. That was cool." Like he just was so excited to be part of history.
Like we literally, as a matter of fact, I saw. If you look at the results for the race, there's initials next to every name: world record, national record, PB, every 1 through 8.
Dang.
Had
accomplishment
next to their name. So we literally witnessed history last night.
Also, speaking of history, our show, there's a lot of things going on. I did not get a chance to shout out Valerie Allman, actually my daughter. I raised her. She went to Stanford with me, and she is the first USA track and field gold for our team. She threw 68.98 in the women's discus, and it was her first throw. She said, "I'm going to win gold on my first throw. Y'all figure it out after that." And she threw 2 meters farther than silver with Pundins from Germany and Perez from Cuba. And it's America's first discus medal since 2008. I'm so proud of her. Her and her coach Zion, like they have just been just working so hard. I wanted to bring this up since I need to find it because I didn't put it in but I feel
like I just want to go back up and say that y'all wanted women's 200 predictions. We won the 400 predictions.
That's not really irrelevant right now. I feel like we don't need to discuss something.
We have a moment right now. Just because you're getting your tail beat in the predictions, I've been winning. We haven't really been keeping track.
I believe we need to stay on schedule. Maybe we don't. Maybe you stop pulling us off schedule. But
I mean, you pulled us off to look up something that.
You're gonna be upset when I tell you.
I'm not.
Okay, so she said. This is a quote from Val's Instagram. She says, "I'm capable of winning. I deserve to win. I will win." Shortly after the Olympic trials, I started battling uncertainty about the magnitude and expectations of the Olympic Games. After conveying this to my coach, he came up with a plan for me to say these affirmations to him every day until I competed in Tokyo. The first week of doing this, I felt so silly and unsure. The words felt awkward and I didn't believe them. I slowly started to believe them and speak with genuine conviction. I found myself thinking the phrases randomly throughout the day during my warm-up, brush my teeth, walking my dog. Prior to entering this Olympic stand, we did this exercise one last time with all the conviction in the world. I said, "I'm capable of winning. I deserve to win. I will win." And I just think it's powerful about how we talk about, the mindset athletes have and how they mentally prepare and like affirmations into speaking life into yourself is so important to build your confidence up to where I've been saying this to myself all day, every day until this whole year. And now it's my moment and I can just go do what medals are won. She trains off. Medals are won in Austin, not in Tokyo. All the hard work she's done all year. So I'm just very proud of her. Very, very proud of her.
Drop that gem.
Yeah.
Medals are won in Austin, not in Tokyo.
Aren't you glad you stopped talking so I could tell you that?
Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, no, she didn't.
But now you can start talking about your favorite thing, which is Brittany Reese.
Man, listen. I enjoyed watching the women's long jump final last night. Woo! And we talked about, we're just talking so much track. I don't know if we said it here or if we said it offline. Brittany Reese. Y'all better put some respect on her name.
On her name.
Period. Okay? Because I was wrong. It was on here. I was wrong. I said that she 2008 gold medalist. She actually placed 4th at the 2008 games. But let me tell you how bad Brittany is. Brittany won the 2012 Olympic Games.
Check.
She won silver at 2016.
Check.
She won the world championship 4 times in a row.
Check, 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 check.
She's got 3 world indoor golds.
Check, check, check.
1 silver.
Check.
Not 1 bronze.
Not bronze.
And now she adds another Olympic silver medal to the collection.
Checkity check.
Like, how do we not talk about this? And I also mentioned.
Do you want to know the real? Do you want to know the real? You want to know the real reason why people don't talk about Brittany Reese?
It's Track Girl Summer. Spill it.
Is because Brittany Reese doesn't come out here looking like a pinup doll. Like, I say this all the time. You can be the ugliest dude, but as long as you ball, you ball. And women have to look a certain way for the media to really give attention, to give commercial spots, to get the. Brittany should be on every sponsorship, billboard, everything. But because she is not the quintessential standard of beauty that people box her in, that is, I to this day believe, because her resume, you just said, it speaks to herself. If we're gonna keep it a buck.
On top of all of those things, she's an athlete that takes a stand. Mm-hmm. Because, as I said a couple episodes ago, Brittany will not jump in a competition where every competitor gets 6 attempts. If you're not getting 6 attempts, she's not showing up. And that is her protest for, we've got to stand up for the athletes. We got to do what's best for the athletes. This is what I believe in. I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. And I'm not coming to this Diamond League where you have to pay me what I'm worth.
I'm turning the Track Girl Summer IG into a Brittany Reese Stan account. It's just a fan page at this point.
Like, come on. Like, give her the respect that she deserves.
And you know what?
She was in first place, and Broom came through on that final jump and knocked her down to second. But that's okay. We congratulate here. We don't hate. We also want to give
shout out to Germany for that 7-meter jump. That was amazing. And to do it on the last jump.
On the last jump is huge.
And she put it out there and was like, Brittany, you either take it from me or not. But that's
the way you do it. And if you're gonna take it from someone like Brittany,
you got to put it out there.
You got to put it out there, and she did. So I'm gonna give credit where credit is due.
And it wasn't Broom; it was Mahambo of Germany.
I'm sorry.
Broom got bronze. She actually has the same mark as Brittany.
Oh, but Brittany has the next best jump.
Yes.
And then also shout out to our other American in the final, Tara Davis, who was out there having a blast, putting on a show. She didn't forget that we are also entertainment, and I love to see that she was out there having a great time. This is her first Olympics. Sky's the limit. She's got a bright future ahead of her. Congrats, Tara. You are an Olympian.
And I want to just say, like, I trained with Tara, and she had a rough year this year, and something changed in her that allowed her to jump farther. I feel like she had a burden on her, and, like, she let it go, and it allowed her to fly. And she's had an amazing, incredible, historic year, and ends with a 6 at the Olympics. And I just want to say, I've told her this before in person, but I just wanted to tell her, like, I am way more proud of her for what she's done off the track, the work she's done on herself and the person and the woman that she's becoming, than for what she's doing on the track. And what she's doing on the track is remarkable, but, like, just to see athletes overcome things is something amazing. We definitely got to have her and Brittany on the show. Should we talk about the 600-meter final? Because if you're 19 years old, you should start running 300 is basically what I learned. A thing 1:55:21 for the American record and Olympic gold. She took it out from the start, and I wasn't, not that I wasn't expecting, because she's been doing it all year, but to see that type of maturity and courage in an Olympic final from someone who is 19 years old and said, I'm going to take it out. If y'all want to come get me, come get me. But she did not run scared. She ran from beginning to the end out ahead, and no one had anything to respond from her.
She's not lost a race this year, has she?
I can't think of time a thing didn't come in first.
She's probably not lost a race in a couple of years, and I wanted to, like,
continue. I forgot because I was like last year, but like last year's 2019 because I forgot about COVID.
Yeah. To have that target on your back at such a young age and manage it the way that she has managed it. On top of this accomplishment of being now American record holder, Olympic gold medalist, all at the tender age of 19.
I don't know.
Shout out to mom and dad. You raised a beautiful one. She's
so much grace, so much poise. She cracked me up when the athletes are able to like talk to their family at the finish line, which I think is dope. And she turned to her family and was like, where's the excitement, people? And I was just like, yes, like, are you not entertained? Like, I need that energy. I just want a gold medal. I need you guys jumping out the screen. And also, Keely Hodgkinson, she's also 19. She won 155.88 for a national record and to get silver. And Raven Rogers, she does this I'm not surprised.
Another crazy last 75 meters.
She does this every time. Like she's a closer. Oh my gosh. She's a closer. I got it. Thank you, Mom. She's a closer, but it's just like if you could just not be in like 7th place coming off the turn, I would appreciate that, Raven. Like, why do you do this to me? And even with 50 meters to go, I was like, oh, Raven's not gonna get it. And then all of a sudden she was just like, I guess I'll go get my bronze now.
Right. Yeah.
I hate Raven Rogers for this. Like, stop giving me anxiety and stress.
Yeah.
Chest hurts. Can't breathe. Voice gone. And then we can't even stop with the crazy. We don't have any time to talk about the other stuff because
I literally was just looking at the time like, do we have time to get into
we do need to talk about these things though, because Armand Duplantis, he got his Olympic gold. We all kind of knew that was going to happen. We expected him to get the world record, and he, like when I tell you he had this world record, he was trying to get 6:19, and his hips were over, chest was over, and he just brushed the bar coming down with his chest.
That's all it takes.
But he had 2 really good attempts over the world record bar with his hips really, really over. He won the gold with 6:02, but I think everyone was rooting for him to get the world record. But he's so young. That world record is basically all but cash. Like he's got it in the bag. And I think we're gonna see with Chris Nielsen from USA. He's just 23 years old. And he PB'd with a vault over 597. I think he might be the new and upcoming star in the pole vault when it comes to the US. And I'm excited to see him kind of take on that mantle. I'm seeing the young kids do it. It's going to be exciting to see him grow into his stardom. And then Thiago Braz from Brazil with the bronze with 587. Do you want to talk about this hammer throw? I feel like we didn't even get into the pole vault, but we're behind time because so many crazy things are happening.
Yeah, get into it.
You want me to talk about?
Yeah.
Anita, I cannot say her last name. 35-year-old.
That's why I was like, you talk
from pole vault from Poland. This is her third. Is this her third Olympic gold?
Third Olympic gold for the world record.
No, she's the current. She didn't have the world record. She's the current world record holder. She's the greatest hammer thrower probably of all time. She threw 78.48, which was a season best. That is the attempt. Like he's over the bar. Sorry. And 35 years old and still letting these girls know I'm the best. Wang from China got second with 77.03, and Malwina Kopran from I didn't put down where she's from. She got bronze with a 75.49.
What do we both like?
I'm just like, there's just like so much stuff, amazingness is happening. One thing there's 2 things I want to talk about before we bring in Morolake.
We can do it.
One was we appreciate, even though Tasha came on here and was like, we do what we want in the comments. I don't know why you're saying that we're biased, whatever. We do appreciate your comments. Chucky Hampton, who like I've known
appreciate that.
We do.
That wasn't like
it was
saying like, I could be biased.
But Chucky Hampton, I've known him since youth track. He came in our YouTube comments and he was saying, we need to talk about Roja. I was talking about like she doesn't need a better second phase, like this is world record stuff. And he did, I'm hyped. He said we do need to talk about her second phase because if she actually had one, she'd probably jump around 54, 55 feet, and that's not even with a great second phase. But the issue is that she's jumping from the women's board, and so she doesn't have room to do a full second phase because she's just so talented that she really should be jumping from the men's
second phase. She'll already be in the sand.
Yeah, so she needs to jump from the men's board, and that kind of reminds me of our former American record holder in the triple jump, Erica McLean. This is exactly how she got injured, and it was the end of her career. I was warming up at Stanford for the hurdles at practice, and Erica was just having an amazing day at practice. She was jumping at the pit. She basically, on her third phase, landed where the sand meets the track, hits, and so that's how far she's jumping. She's literally jumping into the pit. She hits with her foot, and her foot basically turned over like this. Coach Flo runs over, lays on top of her body so that she can't see her foot because he was afraid that she was going into shot. I was warming up, and I heard like the craziest, most blood-curdling scream. I can still hear it to this day. Scream, because it was crazy because nothing actually broke, no ligaments tore, but her skin broke, and because she was in the sand, she had to have multiple surgeries to flush the sand out, and she never jumped again. And that is the risk that Rojas is probably going to have if she did have a second phase. So maybe there's this discussion that Natasha is like, her stomach has turned, but maybe there needs to be a talk about moving the women's board back for athletes who are just, doing ridiculous things.
Some athletes who aren't going to make it into the pit.
But maybe you have two different boards, but I feel like by putting it so close, but like you're limiting what these women can do.
Yeah.
Or maybe have a medium, like not maybe all the way to the men's, but farther back from the women's, because we're seeing in all events we're pushing
to have an exhibition for Ulamar.
To
just because I don't like the idea of limiting her. Yes, if that board is limiting her from the ability to go after that world record, because that girl is 6'4". When I read that comment, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a no-brainer. Like, duh. And when you first told me the story about Erica, we were talking about how, sometimes you're just that good.
And that's where you're dangerous.
You're dangerous because you're not afraid. And I imagine that had something to do with Erica not being able to come back, because it's like that memory of like pushing myself there. I used to want to be a chiropractor. It's injuries like those that I was like, nope, that's not what I want to do, because I literally get sick to my stomach thinking about it. But I don't know. It's a conversation to be had. Do we move the women's board back? Do we have an exhibition for Ulamar? Because I want to see her get that world record. If we move the women's board back, because then here we go with the rules and such, right? Does that then will the world record count?
Well, my thing is like, why are we putting limits? Like, the reason why the men's board's back there is because you need that space to do it. So I don't think that the record wouldn't count, at least from my perspective, because you see the sport is progressing and you have to make room for improvements. Because before they used to think women couldn't do the hurdles, we couldn't do the throws. Like, we keep showing you we can do more than you think that we can do. Like, let the girl jump.
Yeah.
And speaking of pushing athletes forward, especially as the sport progresses, let's talk about this Mondo track in Tokyo.
It's on fire.
Apparently, because everyone knows we love running a Mondo track because the surfaces are just fast. When you're running on a fast track, and Tokyo's track might be the fastest ever, and it's why we might be seeing some of these amazing performances. There's a New York Times article where Cindy McLaughlin is saying you can feel the bounce. Some tracks just absorb your bounce and your motion. This one regenerates it and gives it back to you. And Elaine was speculating she might have been able to break Flojo's record on this track because she celebrated a little too early, she didn't get it. This is a 1.5 million track, and they're saying that it might be able to give athletes up to 2% improvement on their times, which is insane when you think that we talk in hundredths of a second. And there's a lot of like with the Port Percent shoe, with this track. I love seeing these fast times, but at some point it's like, okay, well,
how much technology do we allow this forward movement? And I don't know, where do we draw the line? Is there a line?
Yeah, because it's like at some point, like, track needs to be pure about, you know, what
Abilities.
the ability. We're not NASCAR where it's like can we find the better tire? Can we find a better oil, you know, like, because then it's just more about engineering than actual ability and training. But I don't know. I do like running on Mondo track. Hate training on them. They're not good to train on because you will injure yourself because you can't train on that surface every day, all day. But yeah, where do we draw the line between technology and like just pure training?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either. Maybe our next guest can tell us. We are going to have Morolake Akinosun. I said it right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Just correct me if I'm wrong. She went to the University of Texas. She's a 2016 Olympic gold medalist in the 4x1, world champion in the 4x1, 2019 world bronze champion in the 4x1. She's Nigerian born, Illinois raised. She has 13 Big 12 conference titles. She's actually was my recruit to Stanford, but she decided to go to the University of Illinois, which I guess was a mistake because you ended up transferring anyways. She's a primetime Emmy nominated producer and, you know, just an all-around baddie. So
welcome to the couch.
I get the middle.
You do, of course. Everyone say hello to Morris.
Nice setup y'all have here.
You know, this is how we do it at Track Girl Summer. We're glad to have you in the building. You're fully vaccinated.
Yes, I am fully vaccinated.
Okay.
Kori, you're coach left. So if I were to come to Stanford, I would have been looking at you like, what?
My coach left too. So like,
Okay.
I stayed though.
And clearly it wasn't a mistake because I'm still with my same coach.
Yes.
So I have to get that out there.
And like, and like you've had a lot of success. I just wanted to throw a little shade because one thing about Flo is he always gave me the recruits who did not want to come to Stanford and was like, try to convince them. And I'm like, Morolake did not want to come to Stanford, and I knew it, but we had a good time.
I had a great time.
We did.
Yes. 12 years ago now.
Yes.
Just ages a little.
I'm just excited to have you here because we're good. Like this is our first in-person guest.
First one.
So
welcome to the couch.
Thanks. It's nice to be here.
There's a lot of things like I tell everyone like we're excited about track and field, but we're more excited about the people. And you are actually quite amazing.
I am. Thank you.
Yes. First, let's talk about some like my main on-track inspiration for me. You came back from a ruptured Achilles, worked your way, and then I don't think anyone expected it, and you worked your way back on to the 2017 in the 100. Can you just talk about that journey? Because I know she's a writer. If you ever want to read a novel, go to Morolake's Instagram captions.
Oh. I have a blog too that I don't really write on that much.
I was in there.
Okay.
We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
But continue.
2018, I ruptured my Achilles, and gosh, it was a process.
So you made the 2019.
I made the 2019 team in the 100.
Yes.
2018, I ruptured my Achilles running into a wall at the end of the race at Texas Tech University. So it was trying to think of, I don't remember the date. It was end of January, 60-meter dash. You guys know track, so you know at the end of the 60, you have to run up the bank, slam into the wall, and I hit it at the perfect angle to where I just, an object in motion stays in motion, and so like hit it, Achilles went, ruptures, whole thing was gone. I always say that like people gave recipes so much like credit for shooting 2 free throws and like walking off the court after he ruptured his Achilles. But I'm kind of like, that's not that impressive to me anymore because he was wearing a basketball shoe that supports your ankle. It holds you together. I walked like 60 meters in a spike that has literally no support. No support.
And it forces you up on that angle.
Yeah.
And stresses your Achilles.
Yeah. So love Kobe, but just not that impressive to me anymore. So I go through Kobe. I do. But it's just that.
She's like,
that
his
specific
legacy.
action is not impressive anymore.
Because you've been through it.
Yes. Kobe actually became a huge inspiration to me in my recovery. And I turned 24 that year. So I called it like my Kobe year because Kobe came back and he had the same exact injury. So it was a really hard process, both physically and mentally. Mm-hmm. I wasn't able to do a lot of the things on the track that I was used to being able to do so effortlessly, so easy. It became like a huge challenge to just even put my spikes on and sprint 2 days in a row. And then there was like a huge mental aspect for me as well. being a shadow of my former self and not
Yeah.
being able to compete the way I knew how, and seeing times that were just like,
And you don't
not
trust your
fast.
body the way that you used to.
Yeah. And early on in my recovery process, I remembered laying in bed at night, like literally like feeling my Achilles, feeling to be like, is this thing like really still connected? Like not trusting that it was actually put together.
Yeah.
Because I saw a picture of it, like I saw it, like the surgery of it. It was literally in 2 pieces. I'm like, oh, like it's literally in 2 pieces. So it was a hard recovery physically. It was a hard recovery mentally. It was hard to get back on the track and just lose a lot and run slow times and just be like, can I still do this? And so it was a huge, huge mental and physical victory for me to make that team in 2019 and 100.
I actually like it was crazy because I remember watching it and like because you and Tiana and it was English.
Yeah.
And English had just came back from an injury.
An ACL injury.
And this I forget who I was with, but we were just like, we knew it was gonna be them, like, you know, these girls are gonna make it. And the energy and the happiness that the crowd had to see these 3 women in particular make the team. It was actually like I remember you making this team and it was a moment. And what I remember from you making this team was that your best friend had flown out to see you compete. And he also flew out to Doha to see you compete. And you actually have helped your best friend, you know, basically fly off into the stratosphere as far as go viral, rubbing.
I don't even know if viral's the word anymore.
Yeah, but we're talking about Emmanuel. If you have seen Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man, you have a Emmy nomination.
Yes.
For producing his episodes.
Yes.
Sitting next to greatness.
I said, you need to produce this show. We need an Emmy or 2.
You normally say send a Black woman some money, but apparently
y'all can send me some money still.
Yeah. What's your Venmo?
Yeah. What? It's at Miss Fast Twitch, MS Fast Twitch. You guys can send me some money still.
If you learned something today, if you learned something during the pandemic, during Black Lives Matter from Emmanuel, like this girl helped get the message out. So it's funny because I was actually training at the track. Emmanuel popped up on the track and he's like, hey, he decided to do my cool down with me. And he's like, hey, look at this video me and Morolake just made. I'm thinking about dropping it today. And it was the first episode of Uncomfortable Conversations. And then I had texted him and I was like, this is great. And it just kind of flew off. Can you just talk about that process and like getting this message out?
Gosh. What's crazy is that it's been over a year now. And I remember it like it was yesterday. And I'm like, it feels like it's been a long time. And also feels like it's been a really, really short time. So Emmanuel was like very, very, very deeply affected by the murder of George Floyd. Like we all were. Yeah. But it was to a level that like I had personally never seen before in him. And he was like, I have to do something about this. I have to say something. I have to talk to people. He just like, I have to do something. There's no way that I cannot do anything about this. And so the original idea was to sit in a room and have a group of Black people and a group of white people ask questions, and like there's a communication barrier. And it was the height of COVID at the time, and it just wasn't going to work. Like there was just not a possible way that we were going to be able to get those many people in town at the same time in the same room. So to make a really long story short, he ends up having to do it completely by himself, completely unrehearsed, never hit pause, never edited it. The whole first video was just like straight on to the camera looking at it. I remember sitting there for the first episode and he gets through with the first question. And I think to myself, oh, that was great. It's a perfect point to like cut. And I like make a note of the time to like be like, that's the perfect point to edit and cut if we need to. And then he just keeps going. And then it just takes off from there. And phone call after phone call, guest after guest, it just came in so effortlessly.
And not only did you help him produce this show, his book, so funny because my grandma loves this book and she's like, do you know this man? And I'm like, yeah, grandma. Yeah, and my dad calls me and he's like, this is a nice young man, Kori. Like, but my family loves the book. It's New York Times bestseller on Conversation, and you actually wrote the outline.
The outline was for sure a collaborative effort between the two of us. I think I wrote like 6 sentences or like 6 bullet points and then sent it to him, and then sent it back to me. where it was like almost complete, but then at the end, like I think he was like falling asleep. He was like, "Finish this. It needs to be done by tomorrow. Like I need to send it." And I'm just like, "Okay." So like I finish it, and I think that he read it before he sent it into the publishers, but then he sent it off. So it was definitely a collaborative effort. But like
Send a
we,
black woman some
but
money.
he
damn
did
it.
What I'm hearing is get Morolake on your team. If you want
Right.
something done and you want something right and you want to talk to Oprah, like
We
get
try-
Morolake.
listen,
I have personally never talked to Oprah. I've seen
Okay.
her.
It may
and,
not.
like-
No, time out. It may not. What? Tell Oprah. Get her on FaceTime. Do a 3-way. Actually, I want you at Oprah's house.
Oprah
eating
doesn't let anybody in her
eating
house.
Oprah's vegetables. Okay, that's what I want for you. I'm declaring this. Val says you just have to keep saying things and it'll happen.
Oh, okay.
I want you eating some of those huge cabbages, just straight from her garden, because I feel like the vitamins and the nutrients will whatever else is going in your Achilles, it will heal it. But you need to eat some of
I need
Oprah's
some
vegetables.
Oprah vegetables.
Now
okay.
continue. I don't know where I cut you.
I don't know.
But
I don't
you
know
keep
where cut me
talking.
off either. The book happened. The book's a New York Times bestseller. The children's book is the #1 New York Times bestseller, and it's just now he's taken off. Now he doesn't. I don't produce for him anymore. He has bigger and better producers.
I think it's beautiful because when you were at your lowest, I saw videos of him
Oh yeah.
helping you train to get your Achilles back right. He came to your biggest event
Mhm.
with the USA's.
Honestly,
and then
Emmanuel's probably like 95% of the reason why like I did not quit track in 2019. Like I was like very low. Like I said before, I was running slow, not fast, losing a lot. And it was just having that like support that was there that like really, really helped. So it was so easy for me to step into that role.
And I think it's beautiful. Like I think relationships sometimes are a seesaw. Like help you, and when you're up and you're down, you help me. And I think you guys have like a beautiful friendship, and are getting things done. And sometimes we don't get to see the support system that are behind these amazing things that are happening in both ends, on track and with the uncomfortable conversations. And so, yeah,
That's dope.
that was
So
nice
when's
to-
your book coming out?
yeah.
Someday.
Okay.
Someday. It'll happen eventually. I don't know when.
Well,
Yeah, it needs to happen.
and we're gonna plug
But
it
what is
here.
my book about?
You.
You? What
Oh.
do you mean?
I don't think I
You
want
just
to.
sat here. First of all,
I don't think I want to write about me though.
well,
That's fine, but I want to read about it.
I want to read about it because we're just starting at the Achilles, but you have the power of manifestation. Your tweet from I don't remember what year.
Yeah.
It's
where
so
you
crazy.
said
That tweet was like 12 years ago.
in 20, but still in 2016, I'll be a graduate from a university. I'll be an Olympian. That came through.
Mm-hmm.
You go through this possibly career-ending injury. You work your way back up to making the team in 2019. You were training and competing successfully this year as well. We as Black women got to stop minimizing ourselves. You have an amazing story to tell. And if you can help propel someone else producing, outlining,
You can do it for yourself.
when's Morolake's story coming out?
When it's closer to being finished, because it's not.
Okay.
It's for
She
sure.
said I got a lot of
Story is
wrestling.
still being written.
Yes,
Okay.
it's for sure not finished yet, and it's not going to be finished until the day that I'm no longer here. So when it's closer to being finished, there will be a story to share.
All right.
Well, speaking about helping people out, you started the Innocent Elite Invitational.
I did.
So you have your own track meet. Can
Mhm.
you talk about that?
Yes. So
And you don't want to write your book.
oh,
The girl already
I
got a
didn't-
track meet
I
named
didn't
after herself.
say I didn't want to write it. I said I didn't want more about me.
All right.
Okay. So, gosh, it was a couple of years ago now. I had this idea of creating a track meet in the city of Chicago, an indoor track meet specifically. I was raised in the suburbs of Chicago, and it was a struggle to run track meets there because first off, it's cold. It's cold. I mean, you're from New York.
Yeah.
It's cold just until May. So you can't run track meets there. And then there are no indoor tracks in the city of Chicago. It's just, no is an exaggeration. There's about 5 total. And so I always struggled to run indoor meets, and we would have to travel to Texas A&M or to Kentucky to run indoors. And I wanted to put on an indoor meet in the city of Chicago for the kids who are in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
They're built a beautiful indoor facility in Chicago on the south side with just access for everyone. And I hit up the person who owns it, the GM of the building, and I'm like, I want to do this meet. I want to do it this year. I want to make it happen. And what is it going to take? We were like,
again. But anyway, go ahead.
I don't think it's been like, because she's like saying it, but she also is doing
She's
the work
doing
to
the work.
get it done.
Right, absolutely. I'm not leaving that part out, but it's like,
Yeah.
This is what I want. This is what
I
I'm
think
gonna
that
do.
the meet was especially special for me because it ended up being the very first meet that was held at Gately Park in Chicago. It was not supposed to be the first meet held there. They were supposed to have several before, but the city got shut down again because of COVID.
Yeah.
And so they weren't allowed to have more than, I think it was like 50 people I think it was even less than that. I think there was no indoor events allowed, period, for a while. So we have a meeting set like 10 days out from the meet. The meet was supposed to happen on a Saturday. It's the prior Wednesday. There's a meeting set. And on like the Monday or Tuesday beforehand, I had made up my mind saying that, hey, when this meeting happens, it's a Zoom meeting, of course. If the city of Chicago has not lifted its COVID measures, I'm just going to go ahead and call it and be like, it's not happening this year. We'll do this again next year. So that was my thought process. It's like Tuesday night, the day before the meeting, and I get a screenshot of a Twitter post saying, entries for the Akinosun invitation are now open from my friend and training partner, Kendall Basden. Kendall texts it to me and she's like, hey, congrats. And I look at the message and I'm like, invite, like entries are open? Like, huh? Like I didn't even know. So then I immediately Google like City of Chicago COVID measures, whatever restrictions, and it said that they've lifted them. Like now we have indoor events up to 50 people. And I'm like, oh, we need to go into overdrive. And so I'd been planning like little things the entire time, but we couldn't really plan because I didn't know how many people are we allowed to have. Is this even going to happen? So the meet was put together in such a way that we have wristbands to athletes. So if you're running the 60, you're only allowed in the building from these. We had to keep it flowing. And so then after that event was over, it was like, hey, if you have a red wristband on, we need you to now exit the building. There were no fans, but parents who were coaches were allowed to come in. And because of the size of Gately, we were able to have, I think it was the number ended up being like 200 in the building at one time, broken up into 50 in this section, 50 in this section, 25 here, 25 here. So it was beyond my expectations.
That's making a way out of no way. Cause like I'm hearing 50 and I was like, well, how did you have a meet? But like, you were like,
logistics.
We'll
figure it out. And so many of the athletes, the kids there came and thanked me for putting the meet on because it was their first track meet in over a year. And it just made the whole thing way, way more special for me. And the Akinosun invite is going to continue next year. There's already a date set for 2022. And I'm hoping to also take it outside as well. But, you know, Chicago Springs are iffy.
That's amazing. And I saw that you were like handing out medals to every single
Mom and
winner.
Dad were there.
Yes.
Yes. And I think it also like you're giving back to your community, but also just I think representation matters. And so giving these kids an opportunity to run, but also like you're there and they can say like because yesterday 2 days ago we had Guilty Years on, and I showed her, I was like, this is a picture I've kept since I was like 12, 13 years old, and I have it on my living room tables to this day. And because you're such an inspiration, and you're giving that to these kids, because they can say like, Morolake not only gave me an opportunity to run, but like she's an inspiration to me. I got to talk to her, got to touch, hopefully not touch her because it's COVID, but like, you know,
man, I was
got to touch her.
I was wearing 2 masks. Like literally, I was wearing 2 masks.
Yeah. So I just think it's so amazing what you're doing and like giving back to your community and kids. If this is someone in my family, this is Shaq. She knows what like. I think it's beautiful. I was like checking on time so I could ask you like one more question before we bring our next guest in. I was gonna ask about being part of the USA Relay, but I think I'm gonna wait to talk to you with Bianca.
Okay, great. I was going to be like, do I have to leave for Bianca to come on?
No,
because I had a question for Bianca.
Oh,
okay.
This is perfect.
This is why we do this. I feel like we pair people really well.
Really well.
Here.
Some of it's on purpose, but some of it just
happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the question I was going to ask is like you said that you stayed with your coach from Illinois to Texas and now pro. What is that relationship like? Your group, you have Gabby Thomas in there, you have Ashley in there, like 2 Ashley. I said Ashley, but there's 2 Ashley. Ashley Spencer, Ashley Henderson, and just like training in that environment. all that stuff. Coach, training group, go.
Coach Bailey has been my coach since I was 18 years old now.
Wow.
I think that's really, really rare for just track and field in general to have a coach for like that amount of time.
Same.
Yeah. And we do for sure have a coach athlete relationship, but then we also have like a mother daughter relationship, and we also have like a sister relationship to where like there's still like some boundaries there, like what you do and do not talk to your coach about, like, you know, but she's very, very much like more than just my coach. We talk about way more than just track and field, and like there is a deep level of care there that just goes way beyond track and field. So I just love Coach Bailey so much, and it's been great to be in a group of just like all Black women running together, training hard together, working hard together, pushing each other. It's been incredible this season. It wasn't always like this for us, but at this season, it's been incredible. And shout out to my training partner, Gabby Thomas, who won a bronze medal on the 200. I was hyped in my room watching. Like, I was nervous. Like, my hands were getting sweaty.
So also speaking at like training in a group of like Black women, but just like women in general, I think there's like this stigma that like, especially in sports, that like, you know, women together, it's gonna get catty, and you know, we don't work well in groups, and like you guys are really showing like, no, we come to the meet, we get our medals, we run the things, we train together, we work hard, and like we get the job done.
Here's what I'll say. There's for sure been some, full any group and any group of people, there's going to be some just
conflict.
Yeah.
There's going to be.
I think it's labeled. I think the way it's labeled for women is different than how the way it's labeled for men.
I will say that if there was going to be like great conflict, I think that it would have been between people who run the same exact. It's really, really easy to be friends with someone and close to someone who does not run your event, which is how it always was for us for a while, because your success has nothing to do with my success. Like, I can cheer you on and you can win and I can win and like we're great. But I've loved training with Gabby this last year because we've really pushed each other very, very, very hard. And there's, at least I don't ever feel this way. I'm going to speak for Gabby too. There's never been like cattiness between us or like a competition between us of like hating on each other. Like, I was rooting for her like so bad this meet. Like,
yeah, as you should. As you should.
I train on the same track as you guys, and I can say that Morolake is not lying. She's not sitting here on the couch saying, "Oh, I love her," and it's no. I see the chemistry. I see you all working together. I've never seen any fights or arguments or
like we did like 95% of our workouts together this year, and so running next to her, I'm like, how could I not be rooting for her? Like, yeah.
And I'm sure you guys helped. It's like I have to cheer for someone who's helped me be successful too, because that's a person doing the grind with you day to day. That's a person like encouraging you, like, and sometimes it doesn't even have to be verbal. It's like if you're going out here killing the workout, you're gonna pull me along too. You know what I'm saying? And so it's dope to see that Gabby be successful, and it's amazing to see you cheer. I just feel like I don't put this label on you, and like you're just like in a support role, but what I will say is like you play the support role very well. Like you because there's a humility in being able to cheer your friends on and like support them in any way that they're, and like that's what a real friend does. It's like it's not just like, oh, it's all about me. Like you're a very giving person to the people in your lives, and that's very apparent.
And you elevate.
Yeah.
I think it's really easy for me because
Clay as well.
Yeah. I'm so happy and content with myself and my own life that it's so easy for me to like root for others and support others. Like, we can all shine. Like, we don't have to be in competition with each other. And so I don't think it's me playing the support role well. I think it's just me being happy and content. And so it's really easy for me to be happy for other people as well.
Do you want to know why I think you're happy and content and have so much confidence? You want to know my theory?
Yeah.
Is that you're a Nigerian who also went to Texas, and no one loves Texas like Texas. The only people who love Texas the way that Texans love Texas is the way Nigerians love being Nigerian.
I bet Jamaicans are probably
Jamaicans are up there, but the Nigerians love being Nigerians. Texans love being Texas.
Kori, I honestly thought that you were going to be like Jesus, and I was going to be like, yep, that's for sure it. But I will say that no one loves being Nigerian like Nigerians do. Like, we have so much pride in that.
They have.
I have to shout out.
They have the best everything. The jollof.
We think that we are the best at everything.
And then on top of that, Texans think the same thing too.
Oh my God, my best friend went to UT as well, and it's like, shut up.
And I think those,
Get it.
yes, Jesus, your Lord and Savior. You know, shout out to
I
him.
really thought that
But-
that's what you were gonna say, but yes, it's because I'm Nigerian and we think that we're great, and like it's a thing. I haven't really ever called myself a Texan. Maybe I should because I've been here for 10 years now. But I don't really think that's
You've been
it.
here longer than me? No.
Yeah, I moved here in 2013, so 9 years.
You went to school here.
I was about to say, girl, have I been here 10 years?
I don't know. You're old, Tasha. Like time is passing by.
Yeah.
Listen, little girl, okay? This is the second time you came for me today.
Wait, but you just called her little girl, so now she can't call you old.
This is the second time you came for me today, all right?
Anyways, but yes, you can talk about your Lord and Savior you want.
I
don't know
really
why.
thought that's what you
But
were
here's
going to
the
say,
thing.
Kori. I'm not going to lie.
Here's the thing, Morolake, you've known me long enough to know that I will never, in a serious conversation, say something serious.
Oh.
I'm a troll, and we all know that.
Yes, that is very true.
But yeah, I do think in order to be happy for others, you definitely have to be happy for yourself.
Or be Nigerian. Those are the two things, two options. And if you're not Nigerian, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Well,
Oh my
you better not switch allegiances, first of all, because we're loyal to Team USA. But you mess around, may not be able to compete.
I was
so-
literally gonna. Okay, go ahead and answer because that was gonna be my question.
so
with the
heartbreaking
question.
to read. I'm an information person. Like I don't like to just assume things.
Well, welcome to the show.
Welcome to
Yes.
Track Girl Summer.
Yes. Just if I were describing myself, I would say I'm a seeker of knowledge. Like that's just who I am. And so when I saw that these Nigerian athletes could not compete, I immediately went to like, why? What happened? Like, what is going on here? And so, long story short, the Nigerian athletes needed to be tested at least 3 times, 3 weeks apart in the 10 months prior to the Olympic Games. They were not. That was the fault of the Nigerian Federation. Nothing that the athletes did. They did absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah.
They didn't test positive. They didn't do anything. Like they weren't tested.
Well, almost all of them.
Well, yeah. Gosh.
Sorry, why are we like this?
The 10 that I'm talking about,
Okay.
the 10 that I'm talking
You
about
right.
did nothing wrong. And it
I
was,
was over here trying to like tap her under the like. Just what? But
no,
but you're right,
the
you're
10
right,
that
you're
I'm
right.
talking about, nothing wrong. They just, the Federation let them down.
Yeah.
And that's heartbreaking because their opportunity was taken away from them for nothing that they did.
Agreed.
Which is why I feel like, someone asked if you were going to switch allegiances.
The answer is no.
So, okay. And
Well, you know what? Let me not say no like that because, like, never say never. But in this moment, right now, sitting on the couch with y'all on August, what date is it? 3rd. My answer is no. But yeah.
Well, let's bring on Bianca because
Yes.
we got to get into some hot water.
Bianca Knight, my former training partner, Mississippi native, former Gatorade. Is it former or Gatorade Athlete of the Year?
2008.
Yeah, 2008 indoor 200-meter NCAA champ.
For the University of Texas.
Did I not say Texans love being Texans?
See, I can't even
Being
get it
Texan?
out.
We look.
At 2240 indoors. 2240.
Hold on, I can't hear nothing. Hold on.
Hey girl, hey. Let me finish
hear
reading your bio.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
We hear you.
Okay, I'm in Starbucks. Well, Tasha know a car hit a pole, knocked all the power out down the street, so I had to come somewhere, improvise.
I came in and was like, "Get your bio."
Right.
Like, I'm here.
Let me tell the people who you are. Hours here, okay?
Okay.
All right. So 2240 indoors collegiate record holder. Still to this day, correct? She still holds that? No?
Gabby Thomas has.
No, Gabby broken.
Love saying that. That was fun for you to say.
It was, but I had to also say University of Texas. That was not shade. That was
It's facts. Records are made to be broken. Olympic gold medalist and member of the world record holding 4x1 set at the London Games. My favorite fact, mommy of 2. And we're also going to talk about the Bianca Knight Foundation that she has founded and her BK Track Stars app as well. So, welcome to Track Girl Summer, BK.
Thank you for having me. I feel like the audio is a little bit delayed. So if I answer questions slowly, it's because I can't hear you. Well, it's delayed a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a lag, but it's okay. We'll work we'll work through it. People in the chat being shady already. But anyway,
Oh, let me
how
see.
are you? Hold on, wait. Before you
Yeah, I
answer,
know, but
before
go
you
ahead.
answer, let me say this, okay? You don't want to get shady with this one, okay? Because if you follow
Please
Bianca
don't.
on Twitter, that's another thing we're gonna get into. Bianca gonna read you for filth, but she gonna read you for filth with the facts too, okay? And that's one of the things that we
Bianca
appreciate
is one of my
here
favorite follows on Twitter.
at
Yes.
Track Girl Summer.
If you
So-
if you like track or summer and the way we approach track and field, Bianca and I is a follow you do on Twitter. Just to let you know that right now.
right now. So, Bianca, you're at the Starbucks. Car hit a pole. Thank you for going the extra mile to be here with us. Really appreciate it. You know, Morolake is in. Should I let you go first? Morolake said that she had a question for you.
Well, we're going to talk about it because I want to talk about the 4x1.
Oh,
Okay.
the record.
Not necessarily.
Possibly.
I actually no. That's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the USA 4x1.
Let's talk. We'll get into it.
That's what I want to talk about.
We'll just start it off.
All right, Bianca. If I were the relay coach, which obviously I'm not, like I have no say in how this relay is run whatsoever, I would run JBN first,
Yes.
Tiana second, and a third, and Gabby anchor.
Yeah.
That's what I think our best relay order is. You feel that or no?
Who are the alternates?
The 400 final and the 4x1 are the same day. Allison can't run it.
But honestly, I
Allison
believe.
also has been shown for this 100 this year.
No. That 200 she had a Mount.
22:11.
And don't forget that Mount Sac 200 where she was coming. She walked down Jenna and she was coming for. If she had 5 more meters, she would have gotten Gabby. I believe that. Allison never got her out, and I'm biased.
Like the 200 is.
She never supposed to finish in the 100. She runs a 200.
Well, but
Yeah,
she at least runs a couple hundreds for the year.
She did run 100. She ran 100 at the Eugene meet.
And she runs 60 in indoors.
Right.
She at the
When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Let me know. I'll accept it. Go ahead, BK.
but it doesn't matter because
Okay, so who are the alternates? We have Aaliyah and who else? Oh, Jenna.
English.
English. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't know. With us not having relay camp, it's really, really, really hard to say.
Yeah.
I feel like I would put Aaliyah on the final because she's been on a final relay before. They don't have. I don't want to say they don't have any veterans. Allison would be someone that I would put on there as a veteran just because she probably could, keep him composed going on out there to the track and all of that stuff like that. But again, I'm not saying I don't think she has any interest in it, but she went over there on a different mission. So I don't see her actually trying to interject getting into the 4x1. I
What
definitely
about-
would run Oliver first leg for 100%. I will run her first leg. Jenna, I think I would put Jenna. I feel if I'm torn between putting Jenna on second leg.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. On the second leg. I want to put her on the curve. That's what I'm trying to say.
third leg. That was my third leg.
Has Tiana run any relays before?
Yeah.
Tiana ran second at Worlds in 2019.
Okay, so that's good.
Relays. Where we went head to head with.
Tell me your order again. Y'all ain't asked me, but I'm about to insert my opinion.
Jamie and Tiana, Jenna, who ran third leg at the Worlds in 2015, I want to say, and Anchor Gabby.
Well, that sounds good then.
I believe you switch Jenna and Gabby.
I don't think Jenna's anchor leg.
I think
I don't think Jenna's the anchor leg either. I meant Tiana and Gabby.
Okay.
I think we need that second 100 is a long 100.
Yeah.
You need somebody that sticks to things and I don't know that I trust anybody else on that long back stretch.
Good point.
Against Jamaica, 3 women under 10-8.
Gosh,
You can't hide anybody on this relay. There's no hiding anything.
And I think
we need
Jamaica
somebody
runs.
that can run fast for as long as possible. And
That's
the only
Jenna.
person is either Jenna
Or Gabby.
And if we gotta put Gabby somewhere, I think we put her on the second line.
I feel that.
So then who's anchor? Tiana?
Tiana.
And
That
Jenna,
makes me nervous.
Why? She's the only girl, she's the only American who made the 100 final. Y'all sleep on Tiana and y'all must stop disrespecting her.
That's it. That to me is the order. I don't know nothing about 4x1s. I ain't never ran 4x1 at the World Champs or Olympics. I just know that stick has to be moving fast, and clean.
Not only was she the only American in this final, in 2019 she was the only American in the final.
Tiana's the anchor. Gabby's second. Tiana's the anchor. I like Jay being out of the blocks, and I like that to me.
That makes sense.
I didn't let you answer, Bianca. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I definitely think you put a 200 runner.
Setting her our order.
Michelle's the U.S. relay coach, Brianna. So you can tell her what we think.
I definitely think putting a 200 runner on the second leg it makes more sense because it is a long leg. That's why when I was asking about Tiana, it wasn't like I don't think she can do it. It's just more so like what's the other options to put over there, because I would prefer to see her on last leg.
Yeah.
And to be very honest, I don't know. I'm gonna have to wait until the preliminary round to even see what's going on. We didn't have relay camp. We didn't have training camp. How many stick passes have they had? How comfortable are they with the passes? That means more than the speed, and the order is new. So you have 4 people who's never handed a stick to each other before. Like that's gonna be kind of
like I don't even
before.
I don't even think it's wise.
I handed to Tiana.
I don't even think it's wise to switch legs at this point. Like,
I agree.
What you run in the prelims is what they need to run in the final.
I agree. Yeah.
Because
although I
so then the alternates can't run.
Gabby needs to sit down.
Because the alternates got to run.
I think. What are our options?
Yeah, you're right.
Because
English.
You can't move.
We also have to
second leg.
Yeah, you really
we
can't.
also have to factor in the pressure, because we're the reigning world record holders, defending world record holders, defending champions,
and you know you're going against three
girls that are under 10-8. And let me tell you something. We've been hearing rumbling, but Jamaica gets that stick around the track.
They do.
Whatever drama we hear that's possibly going on over there, they get that stick around the track. They handle business. So we got to factor in the pressure of, and we all can say, oh, it's just another track. You guys are at the Olympic Games. You're the defending champs, the reigning world record holders. There's pressure on this moment.
And when it comes to US, let's be very clear. When it comes to relays, it's either gold or you fail. Like, there's no, like, we're not.
When it comes to Jamaica, no, they're coming for blood.
Yep.
Is Ralph out there with you guys? Because
I don't think Ralph traveled this year.
If you guys don't know, Ralph Mann is like it's like a biomechanic specialist, and he basically runs data and is basically able to say, this is the speed that the stick is coming in, this is the speed the stick is going out. I can tell you what your top velocity is and your starting velocity, and who should be on what leg and at how many steps they should do. He does all of that. The way Edwin was breaking stuff down, that's Dr. Dan. He does it for sprint and the hurdlers. He goes to a different camp and says, puts up his lasers and his computers, and it's crazy. We should have him on.
You would probably bore people to death with all the science talk, though.
Not me.
I mean, not you. I feel you. I love working with Dr.
Yeah.
But like for other people, they'd be like, oh.
Maybe do a pre-recorded segment and figure it out.
See if people actually like want to hear that.
So BK, you just said you can't even give a call until you see the freelance. Without
really just because.
Also,
calling it, I feel like I want Aaliyah on the relay. I feel like I want her on the relay. And like Kori said, that could be biased. I watched Aaliyah since she was a little girl. We ran the same summer track conference and things like that. We had the same coach for a little while. Summer track, so I might be a little biased.
You all
But I do
Show up
want to
because of what
see
her trial.
Aaliyah on that relay.
jobs. I'm listening like, who Aaliyah are y'all talking about? Hey, Aaliyah might be
I want to see Aaliyah on the
the
relay.
secret sauce,
The
man.
dark powers.
Look,
We have 15 minutes to do these picks, by the way. But I love this conversation.
Bianca, how much would you say
Aaliyah's
chemistry
there.
matters? She's there. How much would you say chemistry matters in the 4x1? And just an aspect of
100.
the 2012 team,
It matters.
friends.
It matters the most. You got to think about our world breaker breaking relay. I was the only person on the relay who was not sub 11. I mean, sub 11. My best is 11:07. So even still, I knew I could get it done on the relay. It really wasn't a factor of whether I could, compete. I knew I could compete, but also um, I don't know. I don't know if that's hyping myself up or not, but I'm a very great relay runner. Like I've never been on an unsuccessful relay. And I have great awareness on the track. Allison has very deceptive speed, so I learned how to understand that like really quickly. Like it doesn't look like she's running fast, but I know she's running fast, and I trust it. Like you know what, she just got to come get me, and it is what it is. I had to go into the fastest woman in the world to give that person a stick or whatever. And, easily I could have been intimidated, like, oh, she's going to run away from me or whatever the case may be. But I trusted myself and her enough to know that, hey, we're going to get it done or whatever. And and I think that was the whole thing. They trusted me because it felt better with me on it. And that was the whole issue in London because everybody was like, oh, um,
you
Jennifer
getting
is much
into
faster than she is. Yeah, it is. Like, they didn't, I'm not going to say that they didn't, I wasn't the one that most people wanted to see on the relay because I did not make the 100-meter final and I was not faster than the other options that they had there. But the truth of the matter is, when we got to relay camp, the team that I was on, we finished. We won at relay camp. When we got to the village, the stick passes felt more comfortable with me. Now at this point, I'm just like, y'all gonna do whatever y'all want to do. I'm over here for the relay. It is what it is. But of course, relays are very political. I had to, pretty much sit back and wait. And most people who was there know, like it was dead, almost like a. I'm not gonna say almost a fight because I don't let people get to me that fighting words were exchanged. Let's just say that fighting words were exchanged when I was selected, and it has nothing to do with speed. I wasn't picked because I was some like little pet favorite, whatever. It was because it felt better. We just broke the record at Penn Relays together. I was the only one there who's never really ran on relays. I went pro my freshman year. Like I never actually had the opportunity to run on a 4x1. Actually, my summer track coming up, I never ran on 4x1s. That wasn't my thing. Like I just always did my open events. But my chemistry on a relay was different. So I always, that's why Jamaica, we start talking about world record talk. Do they have the personnel to put the record out of reach? They absolutely do. They have the personnel in Tokyo right now to put that record somewhere we might never see again. Like if they get to stick around. But the if is usually
Chemistry.
when it's that much speed on a relay, the chemistry is messed up. And even if we're talking about like, oh, the chatter don't matter. It do. They don't have no camaraderie right now from what it looks like. Like that's not the vibes not good. Like, but I do understand they can come together as a country and say, hey man, let's put this aside for 40 seconds and handle business. I think they can do that. But chemistry still matter. How is that stick practice going? Who last leg? Is somebody mad that somebody else last leg? Who first leg? Somebody like it's just like what is like how is it what's going we don't know that because I know that that's the issues that we be having with our teams. Like, I want to run this leg, or I want to do this. And we rarely have people who, when the coach say, I need you here, they just say, okay, cool. It's always, well, I run better here, but I'll just do this because whatever. That's bad chemistry. And I would say I never had that kind of attitude. They said, hey, we need you to run third. And I was like, all right, cool. I ran first in 2011. I led off. We won that relay. That was the first medal we had since 2005 at World Championship. So again, I say I pride myself always on. I know my chemistry is good, and I know I'm gonna get it done. And the team know that they can trust me to get the stick to where it needs to go or whatever. So chemistry matters. And again, that year, again, I'm not sub 10. I don't run as fast as any other people we have ever had that could have been on the relay over me.
There's a couple of things to what you said that I want to say, and then I know we gotta get into the hustle podium prediction. But my mom has always said that her team in Trinidad, she used to run for Hampton Striders, I think they're called. She always said we weren't necessarily the four fastest runners, but we worked on the stick so much and had so much chemistry. We were the best 4x1.
And you saw that in London when we had the 1 and 2 in the 100 in the men's, and somehow Britain beat us because they got that stick around.
And in Rio, I was about to say something. No.
I want to hear it.
Definitely want to say it.
In the men's 4x4, when everybody was screaming, looking at us in Jamaica, I was looking at the screen like, anybody else see Japan right now? Like, but anyway, the other thing is everything that you just said leading into 2012. Everybody knows the drama, the controversy that 2012 was surrounded by.
But what if they don't know?
But you know, okay.
We know.
At the trials, there was the dead heat, and then as Bianca explained, we were not sub 10, and you know we have this USA thing that like you show up on the day that counts, and if you didn't show up, and the relay is based on this. But one thing that I remember overall hearing about why the choice was made for you was that it felt good, but more importantly, from Allison Felix, the person giving you the stick, to Carmelita, the person you were giving the stick to, they were like, I feel comfortable giving it to Bianca, and I feel comfortable getting it from Bianca.
That matters.
And that is what matters. And it was all because of the practices, and I wasn't there.
We don't have that here.
But from what you're explaining is that like we were at practice and this is what happened, and at the end of the day, all of the things that we were just talking about, I just said we got 3 Jamaicans under 10-8. We got this, we got that. We're at the Olympics. We got all this pressure. What do you feel most comfortable with, feel most confident with going out on the biggest stage ever to get the job done? And that's what it came down to in making that decision in 2012. Yeah, you got to be fit. You got to be fast. Let's be real. We can't just put anybody out there.
True.
But now that we have all of that figured out, what do we know is going to get this around the track?
And I feel like, because you said Allison is deceptively fast. I've taken, I don't know why Bob made me do this.
You make a great point, because it's everybody thinks, oh, you just put some steps down and you just go. You also have to look at that person and be able to tell, are you coming in 100%? Are you, your depth perception has to be.
And the way Allison moves, it's scary because
the legs don't move that fast.
But if you,
but she coming that fast.
You have to watch the background. You have to watch what she's passing in order to realize how fast she's moving. And Bobby used to get mad at me, but I said I didn't care. I saw Allison, I would be like, maybe meters from my tape, and I would just be like, it's time for me to go, because I don't have it get out. Everyone knows that. My top star is terrible, and I was like, this girl ain't gonna about to run on me. She'll catch me. She'll catch me for the zone. I know that. I'm out.
Allison gave me the stick at the 2017 World Championships, and I remember being at relay practice. What I usually do for relays is I just watch the athletes speak. That's all I'm looking at. That was my thing. I'm like, I just watch your feet, and when your feet get to the line, I'm moving. I'm not leaving early. I'm not leaving late. I did like 2 relay. It was the same relay practice, but like 2 handoffs with Allison, and I'm like, oh, this is not working. I can't look at Allison's feet because her feet don't look like she's moving. I'm like, I have to watch her. Yeah. Like, it was a whole different ballgame for me, but I was able to figure it out because I've run, I don't know.
But that's also important because we had practice. Yeah, when you practice, you can feel how you have to be able to make that adjustment, but also have the awareness to say, this is what I'm usually do. This is what my coach tells me to do. If that ain't working, let me figure out how to problem solve, make sure this stick gets around. I think that's sometimes the problem. It's like, if you don't change to to work with the personnel, that's how seats get dropped.
Yep.
We have to do these predictions, guys. I love it here. Because I also feel like if you're watching right now, you probably haven't been with these type of conversations about relays, and like people just think you're the fourth fastest girl on, you put your hand out and say stick. That is the amount of detail. I just love it.
So much more.
You want to start with the men's 200, or you want to start with the men's or the women's 400 hurdles? I feel like I'm ready to talk about women's 400 hurdles.
400 hurdles.
You guys,
Whose team am I on?
fine.
Oh, okay. Oh, look, BK. I feel like I got the cheat code with BK on my team.
You really do, but no. But let's hear it. Morolake tweeted out my Twitter page. You want facts and the breakdowns, predictions, reactions? Come here. It's going to be track of the Olympics all day on Miss Fats at Miss Fats Twitch.
I also said that everything that I say is biased because I'm rooting for Team USA, and just I let that be known. Like, I'm biased. That's what it is.
I know you know my. Let's just be very clear. I'm gonna write who we both think is gonna get first. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. Delila's getting gold.
I don't agree.
Okay, let's talk about it.
No, that one hard. That one is really, really hard. Delila is a gamer, so if there's any place where she's gonna definitely pull out a win, it would be definitely the final. But Sydney, and I'm glad we on this topic because Morolake's teammate, I guess, feels some type of way about me wondering if we're gonna get a medal in the 200. By the way, I never said Gabby wasn't gonna get a medal in the 200. Let's just
wait. I missed something.
I did not like her.
I missed something.
I don't know what it was.
You did.
We tweeted out, I don't know if we're gonna get a medal in the 200.
Oh, I saw that tweet.
Yeah.
I saw that tweet.
Yeah. No,
that makes more sense.
Okay.
I was like, Gabby's out here.
Yeah.
No, Gabby would never.
I know, that's why I was.
No, it's just I like to. Yeah, no. No, it's just I like to clear up that predictions are just predictions. Like how we're doing right now, we're making predictions based on the semifinals. Like, hey, this is who I think will medal. But my whole thing about, me being unsure if we were going to medal is because of the situation or circumstances surrounding why our athletes look so flat, why we chose not to go over to do training camp, why they chose not to get acclimated. I think it affected a lot of them. And then Gabby may say it didn't affect her, but I feel like with a big race like that, she should have had more time. All of our athletes should have had more time to get acclimated to run at their very best in their optimal performance. I knew she could medal. Hell, I said it was going to take 21.5 to beat her, and it did. It still took 21.5 to beat her or whatever. So I just wanted to say that before we make the predictions because it's a little crazy on Twitter right now. But a little mentions them blew up because of what I said. But it's just like I didn't say she wouldn't medal. And like you said, I'm not biased to Team USA. I go by pretty much the proof is in the pudding. And right now, if I had to pick, I would say Sydney looked the best to me. I'm gonna say Sydney just because of how she looks. Now that's Delila, she's a gamer, so I think that she could. I don't really want to say it's an upset. These are two world record holders that we're talking about. So
I think no matter what, we're watching 51 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Here's why I think Delila's gonna win. Sydney
She's from Rochdale, Queens.
Sydney,
She's a dog.
Sydney beat Delila.
I'm gonna bet on a dog every time.
And Delila got so mad she said, "I'm going back to train." She took herself off the server, went back to train, and then came and broke the world record in the rain. She said she was so pissed at Sydney beat her one time. She went and broke the world record. You think she's gonna lay down and let her take her world record from her?
I don't
think. But you think Sydney gonna lay down at all?
I'm just.
Look, I feel like Sydney is in just this like, not even. She's not even fighting for it. Sydney just seems it's so effortless.
I feel that.
Like she looks so smooth. It looks so easy.
I have no problem saying.
I'm not saying Sydney don't look good.
I want the girl from Queens, New York, to bring it back to Queens, New York.
I'm just saying, Lila got.
You're right. She does have dog in her.
You know what I'm saying? And I liked it better. I bet on a dog yesterday. I'll go with you because we bet on a dog yesterday, and it Ryan didn't hang out. So I will go sit. You can sit so like just know, I'm just doing this before. Okay, if Delila wins, I'm sick. If that was Morolake
But if Sydney
wins, we came together as a unit, as a team, and made this decision.
Right, I'm cool with that.
Look, I want us to go 1-2. That's what I do know. We're going 1-2. We're bringing back 2 medals in that event, but I'm sorry. I mean, I got Sydney with the 1 because she's just on a different mission. She's not worried about what nobody else got going on, and you can tell. So,
can I give a quick shout out to Anna Cockrell?
Yes,
I love her saying. I'm so happy that she's in this final. She worked for that,
and she's going to be a star coming out.
Look, I was so happy for her. Like, we expected Sydney and Delila to make the final, so it was just kind of like, okay, thank you, on to the next one.
That was what I was cheering for in
to
semi.
see Anna come through, I was like, yes, go girl, like, get in that final. Like, Anna Cockrell, you have 3 points here.
Y'all going?
I hope she can. I pull it off and medal. Of course. What's her name? Famik.
MK.
I've never heard her name actually said.
No, she looks
okay. Yeah, I think that she's gonna.
After Monaco or before Monaco?
It was right after Monaco.
It was Kate's head. The London Diamond League. That wasn't.
No.
But you're talking about
when Shamir went.
You're talking about. Gosh, I was there.
Yeah. Where'd you run? Gosh darn it, guys. Guys,
Dude, give me a second. I'm gonna think of it.
I'm going 10K. We're going 10K.
Stockholm.
Thank
Stockholm.
you. We're going 10K third.
Absolutely, 10K for
all right. I'm in therapy and I'm working on my compromise skills.
But I feel like
because if you want Sydney in gold, right? Because Kori took it upon herself to write Muhammad. We didn't come to an agreement.
His thing is.
But no, let me finish. Let me finish because we're going to USA. If you say you want Sydney Muhammad, the compromise I asked for is we throw Anna in there for, and I'm just gonna throw it in there. I'm biased. I like the girl. I like her a lot, but she's shown me at the trials and in the semis here that she is deadly off of 10.
Yes, she is.
She keeps her composure. I don't see the strain in her. She knows how to get the job done. Now I like Femke. I'm not disputing Femke.
Femke looks good.
But for the sake of us not having the exact same prediction as Team Kori and Morolake.
What lane
I can pull it. It's funny to me because yesterday we were talking and we were yelling in the car about the Lila, and she was like, I don't care what anyone says.
I don't care. I still think she's gonna get gold, but I'm working on compromising. I'm working on it.
And that's not a bad. I can compromise with it because to me, I think it's a good compromise because she could possibly get gold. Just her chances of getting gold is just as high as tickets. Like you said, I think we're seeing 51 regardless today. So
she agrees with you. You guys have Delila. All right. So Delila, Sid, and
we can have Delila.
I thought we were going Sid, Muhammad.
She compromised. She just said I think.
No, but you said you said you want Delila, and I'm cool with it. Like I'm cool with it.
So we not
like I said, I love Sid. I know we going, like you said, I know we running 51 seconds. I know we going 1-2, and I really don't know who's gonna win. Sydney looks really good to me, but Delila looks really good. So
someone said don't forget about Gianna Woodrow.
You want to go with Delila? You know, she's the queen.
And I've been trying to Gianna since I was.
Let's do it. Like I don't know. I just can't see Sydney. She's not putting the work in like to get no second place. She like the Vikings. That minute, bro, they're not putting that kind of work in to get no second place. I just don't see that. I just don't.
So you want to?
This is not to say that Delila put all the work in to get second place.
Delila got COVID. She's told me online. I got COVID twice. Y'all ain't gonna take this world record from me. Like
she got COVID twice.
Dang. So, all
She's
right.
giving
Let's
so
be
many
clear
One
here.
thing about Gianna is
opinions of why she got so many reasons why.
52 flat in the hurdles space all day because she trains with the Lily. Like she has to train with that all year long. Is with Gianna. I'm just giving y'all some tips for third place. I don't know what y'all want. I'll figure that out.
Y'all are done, right? Y'all are
Yeah,
locked
we
in?
Yeah.
locked in.
Can y'all see that? There we go. Like my
It's
head's
okay.
in the way.
We tweet out. We tweet out.
And
I
I
said-
might be biased.
Huh? I say
I
we
might be a
make
little
it
biased
fun.
too. Like I'm just a bitch. We can go with Delilla. It really don't matter. We can go with Delilla, but it's like I can't compromise on Delilla and then compromise on the bronze. Like I think Femke gonna get that, but you want to put Anna right there.
What y'all want?
I also think we got to remember that it's the hurdles and anything happens.
Look,
Facts.
And be,
clip a hurdle.
clip a hurdle.
Bobby Kersey said he was walking out the stadium when Gail Devers clipped that hurdle. He said it was a done deal,
Let's
and
take
the
a
hurdle
look
got
back
in her way.
at where hurdles were. Our prediction. So,
Look.
We don't have time for this, Tasha. Pick your third place. Like I don't know what. We still haven't even touched the men's 200.
Oh, I forgot
And,
that
like-
was an event.
all right.
Let's
Femke.
go ahead. Yeah.
I'm-
We can go
I'm-
ahead
I'm-
and do.
my own
We can do Anna. We can no. Let's do
I'm
Anna.
going for.
You go for
I'm
USA,
going for a USA sweep.
Look, it's
Oh
not
no, we lost. We can't. Come on. Okay. All right.
Okay, I feel like Anna. I think it's gonna probably be like maybe a photo finish for third. So
Okay.
if Femke don't get it, I think it'll be
Got an
Anna.
honorable mention on ours.
Okay.
I hate us. We can't ever
Yeah.
tweet it. Someone
And
tweeted.
before y'all come in the comments, we biased as hell.
We
and
know
don't
we are.
care.
It's okay.
Like
Yeah.
But honestly, I've
But I
watched
think that's a good problem to have.
she was good. Like here's the thing. Think about how she took out Shamir, and Shamir is not someone to play with. Especially Shamir after not making the team. Shamir, she's running on pure anger, emotion, like, and still could not get Femke.
I like this comment too from my Palor home. That's fair because we're doing all the talking
No.
about Sydney and Dalila. She might be like, y'all
But
keeping on.
see, but
Y'all ain't
no, but I'm saying I feel
like
the same thing.
Femke is not sneaking past Sydney and Dalila. That ain't gonna happen. But believe in yourself, MK.
Believe in
Listen,
yourself.
man,
Believe in yourself, okay?
this the hurdle.
Okay.
It's hurdles.
I don't know if I see her running 51.
And here's the thing,
But
as someone who no one thought I was gonna win, sneak past Dalila, anything can happen. You just gotta put yourself in the right position and be willing to die.
Yep.
and that's what I'm saying. I think Femke willing to die. I think she willing to die about it. Like I just really do.
I just don't know if she's ready to run
I don't
51.
see her not going home with a medal.
I don't know if Anna can run 51.
Hey, listen, I didn't think old boy was gonna.
You think third place is I think 50,
I know I
low.
think 51, 52 low.
Yeah.
Like low. And I don't know if
And-
Anna has 52 low in her right now.
Fair.
Let's give this men's 200 because y'all.
They ran.
All right, let me read the
We
lane
even broke down the
assignments.
401. That wasn't even on. That wasn't even on the
You
script.
can't have
It
us
was-
on
I
here.
know.
It was for me.
It was light though.
And Bianca,
Y'all
you're
broke it
supposed to
down.
be coming back to talk about the relay, and we just
This
gonna
is
have
why
to
I
have
got my
that
bulletproof
conversation
vest
all
on.
over
Someone
again.
says it's war, real war, and I said I got my bulletproof
But the
vest on
men's-
today.
Men's 200 finalists. Lane 2, Jermaine Richards of Trinidad. Lane 3, Noah Lyles from USA. Have we seen him that far down before? All right. Lane 4,
He in lane 3.
Yeah.
Aaron
You
Brown
know-
of Canada. Lane 5, Darian Knighton, who is like
Looking
handling these
He don't
rounds
medal.
Like a pro.
Okay, he's 17. Lane 6, Andre DeGrasse, always finds his way on the podium. Lane 7, Kenny Benerick, USA. Lane 8, Joseph Fanboulet of Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lane 9, Rasheed Dwyer of Jamaica.
before we even talk about the
This is
race,
insane.
I would just like to say Liberia with them spaghetti straps. I like that.
The one shoulder.
With the spaghetti strap.
Come on, Telfar.
Shout out to them. Send us a purse. Send us a purse.
Me too.
I don't wear bags, but I want that one.
Like, it
It's
should
good enough
not
for
be
Beyonce,
so
it's good
much.
enough for me.
It should not be so much stress to get a bag. Listen,
It should not be so much stress to think about this man's 200. What the heck is going on?
Nice. I like how you brought that back.
Like I try to keep us focused, but keep it fun. Noah, someone said this.
BK
Noah,
is like, I don't care what y'all talking about. I'm trying to figure out this.
Noah got the small cue. Someone said, which is fast. He got.
look, I'm not gonna lie.
Say what you said.
I was
about
asleep.
Noah's feet.
I was asleep, so I didn't watch it. But I looked at the results, and I saw all three of them
Me too.
online at 19.99. So that means that they were separated by the thousandth of a second.
Yes.
So like the small Q doesn't mean that much to me when it was.
Yeah.
That, and we've also seen Gabby come through with the small Q and still get bronze. And
True.
you
It's
know,
more of like we had 3 guys on 1999, which is
In the same heat.
in the same. It's like what y'all know we got a final. But I guess that's what it took.
You gotta
get
qualify.
You gotta get in the final. Gosh, what is going on?
Oh, this is hard.
I don't know where we put them, BK, but I put DeGrasse in there because
Oh, absolutely.
I was
Yeah.
asleep. The first
He
round, I was
stays on
kind of like,
podium.
ooh, is he tired? But I said it in the 100. I was like, DeGrasse finds a way onto the podium. He did really well in the semis. What is scary is that he set a PB in the semis.
And like sometimes.
So this is going to be race 6.
Yeah.
So I'm confident in him finding his way on the podium. But did the PB take a little something out of him? Will he find his way on the podium?
I think Marvin brings some other guaranteed death taxes and operator jobs on his way on the podium. So I don't know what place he's
I
gonna
don't know
get.
what place
Yeah,
either, but I feel like
He's gonna be on the podium.
And I feel like, can I come to y'all guys honestly and truly from the heart? I feel like Nine's trying to find his way to the top of the podium. The boy looked good.
I don't disagree with
Shining
you.
knight in armor.
I don't disagree
But we
with
thought
you.
that at trials too.
And Noah Lyles.
Right.
Noah Lyles said, "Y'all really thought I was gonna lose."
That's
really,
so true.
He really said, "Y'all really thought I was gonna lose." And so I also can't leave Noah off the podium.
I can't leave that. But Aaron Brown was looking good. Brown was looking good too from Canada. Like Brown was looking
Noah
really good.
is a gamer, so I feel like you can't leave him off. But I have been watching Kenneth Bednarik all year. That boy get in the middle. He get in the middle.
He got 6 medals
So
tonight.
He
basically,
in the middle.
we're giving that. Yep, that's it. Everyone's getting the medals.
Someone tweeted us and they were like, y'all doing the predictions. And you know when they have those 3 cards and you just shuffle it around, and I'm just like, y'all make it hard on us. I'm sweaty again. I'm getting out my best. Like
You have to just look at the way people are running though.
True.
Noah, of course, he trusts his top end speed, but
This ain't the
certain races, like like you can't just play around. Like not that he even plays around, but it's just like I know you trust your top end speed, but Kenny Bednarik, he gone from the gun. You have to catch him. So
I love you.
he looks too good. He looks way too good for me to keep him off the podium. Andre DeGrasse, I think he will close in a great finish for 4th. I don't think he will find his way on the podium, just because it's just so deep. It's too deep. And Noah, I think he can pull it off, but I think Arian Knight, if I had to pick right now, I would say Arian is getting the middle, Kenny Bednarik is getting the middle, and Noah.
But which
So
one?
you think an
What
American
order?
But which one? Which
Oh
which
yeah, that
medal?
is an American.
That's
sweep.
you think an American sweep, which I am a fan of.
I'm a fan of.
I'm a fan of.
I just don't know if it's gonna happen.
Me either.
We don't
You know
know.
what? I think if it's somebody,
Leave me
if it's somebody that
alone.
stops us from getting a sweep, no, I just they're gonna have to chase down Kenneth. I think Arian can chase him down. It's a blanket finish. I don't know who getting first. It's a blanket finish.
You know what?
Kenneth
I
just
also
looks too good for me to leave him off.
don't disagree with that. I think we see 4 people at the finish line like this.
We saw in the semi.
I think we see 4 people, and I think it's the 3 Americans and the cross.
Yeah.
You gonna say Aaron Brown ain't gonna?
I think that the 3 Americans look too good, and it's just the grass being the grass.
Yeah, but
You know
But we
what?
also got
Noah is running from deep in lane 3.
that
That's
That
I want to bring us back to that.
But I
bothers me a little bit because he doesn't have a good start.
Strong turn.
you
And
will.
he got to run that whole turn.
Yeah.
He can do it. We saw
That
Gabby
bothers
do
me a
it.
little bit.
And Gabby's height
Yep.
does not help her with that turn.
Yep.
Gabby is also a good indoor runner as well, so the tight turns don't bother her.
Yeah, her 300s is disgusting.
Noah, on the other hand, is not really a fan of indoors. He does it for training sometimes or whatever. He's not a tight turn guy. I don't see. He does well from the middle of the track. Every time he's run this, been blazing him from the middle of the track. So that inside lane bothers me a little bit.
He can't come with that.
Candace
It's my
has
teammate. Don't worry about y'all.
I'm
Okay.
gonna leave it. I'm calling Jesus right now. Get him on the hotline. I need
Lord,
some help.
can you please send us a
Can
message?
we
a
call a
signal?
friend?
Can I phone a friend? I'm gonna call Noah right now and ask him how he's feeling going into this final. Because I need
And that's the other thing. If we don't see this Noah,
Super Scion.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that because I saw that at
This
trials.
is not a Super Saiyan.
The
It's
Super
not a
Saiyan
Super Saiyan season.
out to 200. In the 100, I was kind of like, no, it's not.
I don't mean to bring the mood down a little.
Bring it
did
down.
y'all see Noah Lyles' interview where he talked about getting off his antidepressants because he felt like his spark was lost? I had said earlier in the year that Noah didn't feel like himself to me. Like that, bubbly personality. Noah just seemed like not there to me.
You know, Ajay said she had a conversation with him, and she was like, it was having one of me and you conversations. Usually, Noah's very bubbly, and she said she had this deep introspective conversation. It was very dope, very meaningful. But I'm like, is that who we need on the line right now? Is deep introspective Noah? But he also might just be maturing.
That's also the thing. So I saw that, and to me, when he was like, I needed to get off my antidepressants so that I can feel that, I think the word that he used was spark.
Yeah.
I was like, this to me makes sense because the Noah that I had been seeing this season up until Olympic trials was like a different version of himself.
But you also remember when Noah came on the scene, he was like a little child.
Literally.
And now he is a grown man having grown man responsibilities, and that's going to mellow you out a little bit. It hasn't happened to me yet, but someday I will be a grown adult. And
Aisha was like, so what order are we going with? You caught on that nobody wants to say anything. Everybody's like,
all right, I'm gonna give my order.
Okay, I'm gonna go with you, friend.
Okay, I'm really torn between Noah and Arian for the gold.
Ain't no towards here. You gotta make a decision.
I think that
Bianca.
So we're going
Bianca, you gotta make a decision because I ain't making it.
We're gonna go with Arian Lyles for gold. Okay.
I truly think that whatever happens, they're going to be first through fourth place. It's
gonna be making excuses. Making excuses.
Why do we put next time we're picking something I'm gonna go with I kind of want to go with Arian. I'm gonna.
You want to go Arian?
I'm gonna make a bold choice.
All right. The same way that Kori did for the 400 hurdles. If Arian wins, this was a collaborative decision. We did it together. If Arian does not win, all Kori.
And if Arian doesn't win and Noah takes it, I told y'all so.
So we're going Noah for gold for silver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We just got because no one's holding a gun to our head if something goes wrong.
That's true.
We're so competitive. We want to be right.
Right. All right. Let's get in the bronze.
They can say something. They can throw a medal out.
My teammate is over there. She's coming with the game plan.
All right. So are we going Kenny or Andre? Or do you have another option?
I'm trying to channel my ancestors right now. Just give me a second. Y'all need to come.
Is Andre the only relative Olympic medal of the group? An individual one for sure.
Yeah.
Look, I said it.
It's
Marvin
enough.
Gracie said it. Death, taxes, Andre DeGrasse on the podium.
I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Y'all need to do something. Give us at least your goal.
Your gold medal. Give us one medal pick.
The grass, but I would say I would definitely say the benefit of the grass being in lane 8 is he's a great starter, so he can definitely run off and they'll have to run him down. But also he's running blind, and
Sometimes that's a
it
good.
is the same distance. But then it's a good thing. But in the 200,
He did it in the semis.
He's in 9.
He did it in the semis.
It's so much work already ran out of that lane already. Like,
But Bianca,
he's coming off of those hundreds, like
your connection.
so
Hold
much
on.
work. Like his
Man.
Oh.
Okay. Your connection is
am I
going in.
gone?
You hear now, but I feel. Oh man, I feel like what she was trying to say is that he's out in lane 8, and I need my teammates to make these predictions. So please come back.
I feel like she hung up on purpose. I feel like that wasn't a connection thing. I feel like she hung up because she didn't want to tell us her predictions because it's too hard, and she wanted to get out of it.
But no, what I think what she's saying is that like he's out in lane 8, he can't feel anything there. But let's remember,
can I
someone in 9, and he also won the bronze medal in the 100
from
lane 9.
Can I
So
say
he can run
something
without
also?
feeling anything.
Okay, so we back in business.
11, and we don't have any predictions. And
We don't care. We're you.
Look, if they want to log off at that time,
Okay.
they can leave.
Let me check the battery.
I feel like good job. I feel like what you were trying to say is that he's out on the outside and he can't really feel anything. Is that what you were saying? But remember,
I said that.
he
but I also
the
said
bronze out from lane 9.
And he ran that fast time in the semi from the outside lane.
yeah, but that's in the 100. An outside lane in 100 and an outside lane in the 200. And like Kori just said, he's already ran in that outside lane in the 200. The difference is, yes, it's all the same distance, but the work is different. You work much harder out of that outside lane in the 200. It's the same distance, but the setup. And I'm just afraid that the work that he put into the 100 and then the work.
I think the outside's easier.
I'd
rather have lane 9 than lane 2 any day.
Well, yeah, I'd rather have lane 9 than lane 2, but I'd rather have lane 3 than lane 8. I'm serious.
I don't disagree with that either. I'd rather have 3 than 8, but I'd rather have 9
All right,
than 2.
we gotta make some decisions.
You ain't got, but you don't have a
reminder. We held the world record in 2016 out of lane 9.
No, it is. You can definitely do it, but since he's already ran out of that lane and he's had so many races, it's just I'm not sure if his legs coming back. So
Yeah,
I
think that's a fair point. He ran a PB in the semi, so will he have his legs back to run another PB?
Well, I feel like
when you see
PBs, your body either goes into shock, like we have never done that before, or your body's like, I'm coming into form.
Mm-hmm.
We've got more coming. We're figuring things out.
Mm-hmm.
You're either putting stuff together or you just shattered yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where, but he looked good doing it.
BK, call it.
Okay. All right.
Go,
so I'm going with the underdog to get the goal. I'm going with Kenny Bednarik to get the goal. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight. But I think he will dip it out. I like him. I like the way he's been running. I think he's gonna dip it out. And the person he's gonna have to dip out is Arian for second and Noah for third. I think Andre will get fourth. But I think we're gonna sweep this one. Even though Noah's down there. Yeah, I think if somebody's gonna break up the sweep, it's Andre.
Eric.
It's either Kenny or Andre.
All right, you have Kenny. I have Andre. Rock, paper, scissors. Let's go.
Okay. Rock,
paper, scissors.
Oh, we don't go and shoot?
Okay, shoot.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Who did I have?
I had Kenny. You had Andre. I don't know if I like that.
So we're with Kenny.
If we go with Kenny and
I think we
Andre
all
and
have honorable mention Andre.
Okay.
Here we go. As a team, we all have Andre somewhere on the podium, but we also make 3 other men to make the podium. I don't know how that works,
Yep,
but it's our show. We do what we want to do.
So basically, we've agreed on American Sweep. We just don't know the order.
I apologize for this chaotic Hustle Clean podium picks. If you guys didn't know, Hustle Clean is where is this? Oh, you didn't put it on today's thing. Fine, I'll pull it up. Yes, I'll pull it up yesterday.
Threw me all the way under the bus on camera
As your co-host.
I've been throwing you on the bus. You like those things. You live on the bus, and that's okay. Hustle Clean is a mission-driven self-care brand for active lifestyle. Products are sold nationwide in Walmart and Target. Feel free to go to hustleclean.com with 10% off using our discount code TGS. That sounds like Track Girl Summer. And it's athlete and Black owned. So get in the hustle and get clean. That's not their slogan at all.
Yo, Mike L said they can share the medal just like the high jumpers.
Yes.
we ain't sharing no medals.
We've seen that before. Remember in 2015, Andre and Trayvon shared the bronze medal in the
Found
100.
his damn way on the podium.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. You gonna share this damn medal with me. So
I'm stressed.
And Andre ran the fastest qualifying time.
it was also a personal best though. So there's a personal best. But I mean, Elaine ran 21.6 in the prelims. I mean, in the semis,
Which was the personal best.
Ran 21.5.
I didn't watch it. Did Andre look like he was working hard?
No, he looked good. And he came out in the outside lane.
Because
Do we have to redo this completely?
No. We're out of time. Guys, thank you for joining Track Girl Summer. Bianca, you're going to have to come back this week. We already have you on the schedule for, what day is it? Thursday?
Yeah, we have to talk about that.
I think it's, for the Read 4x1.
Yeah.
I think Whitney's on
Thursday.
Whitney, it's going to be a party. That's it.
Well, okay, if you want to come back to the couch, you're welcome anytime. Here.
We're getting
What's
into the things.
ones run?
Also, we didn't get into all the things that I wanted to talk about with you. Cause
I'm just be doing the outro. That's my job.
Because we're just gonna keep we're
gonna keep talking about this. Like we're gonna go off live and we'll
be sitting
FaceTime
here
you
arguing about this
and get back into. And by the time we post the prediction on Twitter, we're gonna have a
look
completely different name.
It's gonna look different.
But thank you guys for joining us today. Be sure to follow us everywhere on Twitter, IG, Facebook, all the things, and follow Track Girl Summer on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Follow Miss Fat Twitch. Read her blog.
There's nothing on there, y'all.
But I actually learned a lot on your blog. That was all about it.
Oh, okay, great.
That's where I learned about you. Oh, well, I knew about you, but it reminded me. And you can pick up book that you help us out for Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man.
Read it. It's great. I'm biased, obviously, but it actually really is a good book.
Follow her Twitter page if you want some inside takes on track and field. BK, where can people find you?
You can definitely find me on Twitter. That's my favorite place. I have an Instagram, but I'm not a big Instagrammer. Instagram and Miss Bianca AK on Twitter.
And her Twitter, if you love track and field, BK's Twitter is for you to be.
Also,
but please don't come if you're gonna be talking crazy. Because I'm trying to.
No, that's we want them to come talking crazy, so we put them in their place.
Time out. We never talked about Twitter page. What happened?
See, that's what I'm saying. Oh.
So here's the thing.
We at Track Girl Summer is a little shady. We like a good rivalry.
So Mike Powell came on our show and talked cash. We're not supposed to cuss on this show, but he was trash talking of all people, Carl Lewis. We might have taken that clip and put it on Twitter, and I might have added him. Okay. Carl Lewis says he's coming on the show. I don't know when it's going to happen because you thought Carl Lewis of all people was going to let
you talk mess
and sit down and take it. So yeah, follow our Twitter page for stuff like this. We're having a great time.
All the athletes that we've been talking about, if you want to learn some more about them, go to World's Greatest YouTube. They've got super docs about Morolake, Gabby, and Dalila.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time. Make sure you come back to see how our predictions are right or wrong, or if they change, or like, you know, I don't know. And remember, no matter what time of year it is, it's always a Track Girl summer, baby. Thank you guys for joining our show. We had a good time. Thank you guys for being part of it.
Honored to be your first guest on the couch.
Yes. Hopefully many more. But guys, I had such a good time. I feel like I learned so much.
I had fun. I hope they like watching this.
I did. So I don't
Every day gets better and better. I didn't know how we were going to top Edwin Moses, but like this conversation, this medal prediction, this was
the relay breakdown, like how you talk about the handoffs. We had a good time.
The gems. All right, y'all. Bye. Bianca, I'm about to call you.
Okay.